Everyone, new name here, playing his favorite game, Watcher of Realms. In this footage, excuse me, I'm going to show you how I first cleared Gear Raid to Stage 19. And I didn't have a Dolores. I didn't have a Dolores for any of the Gear Raid 3 Stage 19s on my first time clear. Unfortunately, I was not able to summon her. So if you go into your raids, which I'm sure you know where they are now if you're trying to do a Stage 19, and you go into the 19, I have the power of dominance off. I'm going to show you in the guide, okay? To get a recommended lineup, you can't do the stage with the power of dominance on. And it has to be a 3-star clear. All right, so you'll see at the bottom here, I just did it, okay? So I have Dagna. She's wearing all attainable gear. Everybody's got gear on that is stage 18 or less, okay? So she's bringing a Lord bonus of 5% shield every time, or sorry, periodically, okay? Which helps Vortex stay alive. So my Oleg is pretty geared, but he's also geared in a fracture set. So it's not bringing any kind of a bonus for a tank. I can't help it that he's A3 or whatever, okay? But this North's Will artifact, it's going to heal any hero that can wear this defender from any shield they have, whether it breaks, it expires, they'll heal for 15%. I think it's 10% at the base, and it goes up by 1 every time you skill it up. So you'll see Oleg's got 80k HP. So he's going to get shields from Vortex. He's going to get shields from that Northern Lord's bonus. So anytime the shield breaks, he's going to heal for 12,000 HP. The healer doesn't even have to touch him. Okay? So here's my Vortex. Okay, I didn't mean to lie, but he's got this one invigoration neck piece that doesn't even have attack speed. Okay, it doesn't even like it's not gonna it's negligible. All right, and Brokir is my gear tank. You see here, he's sitting at 112k HP. A lot of nice rage regen or whatever. Okay, so Comet is the main damage. These are all farmable items that, yeah, they might be ancient, but I had to climb the mountain the same as you're trying to do. And step by step, I started establishing better and better gears. My Comet's got max skills because he's my damage, and everybody else is in crappy sets. I got to make sure I do it. So he's got this wonderful tier of Twilight. Okay. And then Baron, without an artifact, brings a cheat death, right? So that's why I have him here. He brings this unyielding. And since I have him at A3, it lasts for 8 seconds in total. But there's nothing special about this Baron set. As you see, he's got 35k HP. He's basically just a body to soak. Zilla2 is a secondary damage, but I tried my best to just, as you see, I can't help it. She's got 16k HP, max Zilla2, but none of these sets, like, right? There's not much worse that I can find that will allow me to get the job done. So I call this strategy the Volca Polka. I don't think I'll place Volca. Sometimes I do, because sometimes I get confused. There's like 8 or 9 different ways you can do Gear Raid 2 Stage 19 to 21 with this strategy, okay? So this Invigoration set, I'm probably not placing Volca. It doesn't matter. You saw she didn't even have a chest. So here's my Eloin. She's got her Asclepius set on. It's the same one that I always run her in, okay? So there's nothing special here except that Euphoric Orb gives 30 increased speed to random nearby people. This is imperative. Your Decimus is just a meat shield. However, you put on this cost reduction set. So it's -1 cost. It helps, okay? Especially with how I'm going to show you the Volca Polka strategy. So hopefully I'm able to one-shot this and replicate it for you. And it'll help you, pardon me, get on your way to getting into the stage 19s of all the gear rates, and you'll have your foot fully out of the shallow end into almost the deep waters of the end game gear. So without further ado, I've got to pause it at first. So on this first wave, there's going to be 2 mobs that come down from up here. I use my Zilla2 here, okay? And I made sure that she's strong enough to just barely kill them. Otherwise, you wouldn't get that sense of it being like a newer player's account, all right? Obviously, this hero isn't, you're not going to get her on your first day for most people. I got her on like my second or third day. I got Comet as my first Lego. I got Eloin as on like day 3 or something. So I can't help it. This is the lineup that I used, okay? So Brokir came real early. He's got a cheat death. He's also a northerner, as you'll see it down here at the bottom on the northern icons. Okay. So Zilla2's done her job. She comes out. So I can speed this up a bit. Now the boss is going to come out. He's going to act like a jerk, busting through the door, saying, "I want to party. Where's the women?" Okay. And nobody wants him here. And he's going to try to knock the door down for this entire fight. So I'm going to let him spaz out, throws his tantrum. Now he's ready to rock. Here's the key. You let him do 2 fist bumps, grab some kind of a tank, whoever you have that has a cheat death. As soon as he does this third one and the orange explosion happens, drop your tank. Now let him do his tantrum. Boom. After the next 2 smacks, now you drop your damage. Okay? After that's done, now you drop your healer. So now your healer is only worried about 2 targets. If the healer had to heal themselves, they're all probably dead. Okay? So I'm going to bring my Zealatu in, and I'm going to face her in this direction so that way she's able to help out Comet if it's necessary. Actually, I don't think I need to. Let's just face her up. So the reason why Zealatu is useful here, you see, you drop her and she's got like 85% rage. She's ready to go as soon as you drop her. So these rock guys, they target either the last platformer placed or the closest person that's down in the lane or an alley or whatever, okay? So the idea here is I can't help it that she spawned that little creature thing. It's negligible, okay? It might save my bacon at the last bit, but at the beginning, it doesn't matter. So Comet is a god, okay? And if you use a Dolores in this fight, like it's even easier, obviously. But as soon as you've killed everybody, you pull them off. Because I don't have a Sadie, I don't have a Regulus. I can't survive this Golem Shriek. My Oleg can, my Brokir can, any tank that's got cheat death can, but my healer won't. So here's the idea now. It doesn't matter when you place your cheat death tanks here, because they're going to die anyways. But these guys that they used to be roly polies, but now they just rush in. They lose 80% or 70% HP on impact. All right. So you let them hit. Boom, boom. Okay. Now I can put down a serious tank like Oleg, and he's still going to be there. So that's going to save me cost. If I had a better built Baron, he would have been able to stay there and not die. So this is where it gets a little tricky on your timings. You're like, oh, who do I place? When do I place? Like Dagna's going to die, right? But I've got a decent amount of cost. So you bring in your Comet now, and your Decimus has such a short timer that he'll come back up and he has a cheat death. Okay? So to supplement your Comet, you bring in your Zealatu. And you'll see again, she's ready to go with her ultimate. So these guys aren't going to have a chance, hopefully, to get past, right? Because Comet, without a Laurel, doesn't have a chance to get his ultimate up. And you're going to see how close this actually turns out for me, right? So I didn't kill him. Everyone else died. But Oleg, see that? Now when he loses that shield, Oleg is actually going to heal for 15% HP. Notice how I waited till after that boss did that splash, or sorry, that orange explosion. So there, that's the end of the boss doing his tantrum at that part. Okay, Oleg's dead. I put in my Brokir. My Brokir can survive. These guys are going to die as soon as they start running. See how they got that wind effect on them? Dagna goes in, boom, they're done. Okay, Dagna comes out. Now here's the other key. The boss is going to do 16 fist bumps. If I took my Brokir out right now, the boss is going to do those 16 fist bumps. See how he's blue in the center? When that boss turns red in the center, he's pissed. Okay? So he's going to pound the ground. Okay? If I pulled Decimus out right now and I had a tank available that can tank the boss, which is coming, okay? See how my Oleg's about to get up? I'm going to pull the boss away from being tantrum now. Oh, I can't help it. I got to get in here. So if you time it correctly, that boss will turn blue and he won't do the tantrums anymore. But I have a strong healer in Eloin, so it should be okay for now. And again, this is tricky. This you can do it another way than I just showed you, but that's the way this video is going to go because of how I decided to do it. There's other strategies that you wouldn't have placed who I placed when I did, and you wouldn't bring a Zealatu, okay? Excuse me. But I like to have a Zilla 2 here, or an Arrogance would work. If you're fortunate enough, you can even use an Aracha. But the best tank to have here right now is either Oleg or Brokir, and especially Brokir because he can what I call use the Bro Zone on his ultimate that gives a 30% damage reduction to nearby heroes. Okay, so comments going in. And the reason the video's gone silly like it just did to you guys, I can't help it. I've never really done it with this lack of gear. Okay. But once you get down to just the boss, you melted. And now you sort through the rock pile and you try to find, the quartz and the amethyst and get rid of that and grab the emeralds and the rubies. Okay. So that's a really tricky fight. There's many, many ways to do it. I think the Volca strategy is the best strategy. And if you look here, like the damage is pretty equal for who I brought. But you always got to remember, if you're trying to do the higher level of stage 19 gears, you got to do some gear swapping and build the best sets you can with the heroes you've brought for the strategy that you have. Okay. I didn't do that. I just put on whatever I could and try to make it as fair as possible for you. And you saw it was still a struggle, but I had brought enough cheat death heroes that I was able to recover from what looked like a failure. So hopefully this guide has helped you. That's the 3-star strategy with Volca and Comet. You can do it with other heroes like Maul if you have better gear, if you have a Silas, if you have a bonded Silas, you can put him in the middle and he'll take care of those rocks. When you start getting to stage 20 and 21, you need to have better gear on everybody. I wouldn't bring Elowen either. I solo heal stage 21. So I hope that guide has helped you. I hope if you've watched all three, you've been able to clear all stage 19 gear rates. This is New Name playing his new favorite game, Watch Your Realms. Wishing you a good day and please be kind and drive safe.